Alright, we're going to make some chocolate chip cookies here. Pretty easy to make, but there is a lot of ingredients. We're going to need 2 1/4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, ½ teaspoon of salt, a cup or 2 sticks of butter, 3/4 cup of sugar, and 3/4 cup of brown sugar. When you scoop out and measure the brown sugar, pack it down when you measure it. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 eggs, and then 2 cups of chocolate. So I'm going to go ahead and get my bowl ready. I got a bowl and a whisker, and then I have just a baking pan we're going to need. So the first thing we're going to do is preheat your oven to 375, get that going, and then we're going to start mixing here in a second. We'll continue on in a minute. Alright, the first thing you're going to do is get some of your dry ingredients ready. In here I have the flour, baking soda, and salt, and just mix them together really quick, nothing much. Just get it mixed in with the flour, and then just set this aside. We're going to come back to that in a minute. Then use another bowl, which I have actually right now heating in the microwave, my butter to melt it down. We're going to come back and start adding things into that next. Alright, our next step is going to be adding the sugar and butter together. So I have my 3/4 cup of brown sugar and regular sugar here, and then I have my 2 sticks of butter here. So I'm going to add these together. And you can use a blender or a whisk. Blender is going to be easier. And you want to beat this all together until it is all creamy. So it might take a second, but you want to get it really mixed up. It's a really thick batter, so you might want to use a blender if you have one, but otherwise a whisk works just fine. So you'll get something kind of like that. I'm going to blend it a little bit more because I'm not using a blender. I want to get it really good, but once it gets to a creamy consistency like that, you're ready for the next step. Now we'll go ahead and add our vanilla and eggs to this mix. So I'm going to pour in my vanilla first. And I'm going to throw 1 egg in. Get the first one mixed up a little bit. Get the other one in there. Oh, got a little bit of egg piece. Alright. Alright, so you get all that mixed up and nice. You'll have a fluffy batter now. And now we're basically getting close. Now we have to add in our dry blend. We're going to add this dry blend in gradually. So don't just pour all this in at once. Add in a little bit at a time. Otherwise it's just going to be too much and it's just going to all fly all over. So I'm going to go ahead and keep adding this slowly, and now it's going to get harder to stir because it's going to keep getting thicker. Alright, now once you have the flour mixture all gone in, last thing to do is throw in your chocolate chips. And stir this carefully. You don't want to break all the chocolate chips up, but get it all mixed in. This is not a hard stir, you just want to mix them. Once you got them kind of mixed in there evenly, then we'll be on to our last step. Alright, so now we're on the last step. All we need to do now is take a spoon. You want about a tablespoon for the size of your cookies. I just use about a spoon. So get a spoonful and then start dropping them on your pan. And just do that throughout the whole pan. Once you have them all on the pan, throw them in the oven at 375 for 10 minutes. When you take your cookies out of the oven, you want to take them off your cooking sheet here instantly and start getting them to cool off on a rack. So take them off your cookie sheet right away and get them cooling down on a rack. Alright, so then after they cool down on the rack, you're going to end up with something like this. Really great chocolate chip cookies. For fun, I made a couple monsters. But those are harder to cook. The bigger they are, the harder they are to get right. And they turned out just great. They're, you know, golden brown on the outside, but they're nice and soft. They're still a little warm too, but they're nice and soft and squishy, and they taste just amazing. So try this recipe out, guys. Really great chocolate chip cookies. See you guys soon.